You think this war is between the United States and Iran? Maybe. But let me show you where the biggest geopolitical victory of this conflict may really be happening. It is inside NATO. And when that starts to crack, the problem stops being just the Middle East. It becomes military credibility. Because when the President of the United States threatens to abandon the alliance that has sustained European security for more than 70 years, he is not just making a statement, he is opening a fracture. And there is someone on the other side waiting for exactly that to happen. In the next few minutes, you will understand why Trump's mistake may be handing Putin the victory he had been waiting for most. France denied overflight rights to Israeli aircraft carrying American weapons. Italy denied permission for certain U.S. military flights to land in Sigonella. And Spain went even further. It closed its airspace to American aircraft involved in the strikes. 3 important NATO allies, all making the operation harder at the same time. And then, Trump says he is considering leaving NATO. The French response was short and direct. NATO exists to protect the Euro-Atlantic space, not to carry out offensive operations in the Strait of Hormuz. This is a public rupture between allies of decades. Why is this so good for Putin? He only needs the alliance to look divided, politically less reliable, and that is exactly what is starting to appear now. European allies restricting support, Trump threatening to leave, and European leaders already speaking openly about a more European NATO as a response to the risk of a less predictable American commitment. Putin's gain here is twofold. First, the strategic. If NATO looks less cohesive, its power to deter Russia weakens. The conversation in the West stops being, how do we contain Moscow, and starts becoming, who still trusts Washington? Second, the economic one. The price of Russian oil surged with the war in Iran as buyers started looking back to Russia when the Gulf entered crisis. While the West argues over Hormuz, Moscow regains financial breathing room. The Pentagon even considered redirecting to the Middle East weapons that had been intended for Ukraine. In other words, resources are starting to compete between 2 theaters of war at the same time. From Trump's point of view, there is a logic. He's saying that Europe depends far more on Gulf oil than the United States does, and that because of that, Europe should assume more risk, more cost, and more responsibility in that region. And then the question stops being diplomatic and becomes strategic. Does this strengthen the United States, or does it weaken the very structure that still gives the U.S. reach, cohesion, and credibility in face of its rivals? The central point may not even be whether Trump will actually leave NATO. The real point is another one. Is the threat alone already enough to benefit Putin? Because if the alliance starts to look weak, divided, and unpredictable, Moscow is already winning. So the question remains open. Is Trump simply forcing Europe to carry its own military weight, or has he already opened the crack that Putin most wanted to exploit? If you follow military affairs, subscribe to Conflict Front. Here, you follow the conflicts that move the world.